I'd like to welcome everybody to the third episode of Dinner with Dan. This is August 31st, 2025, and this is going to be a special block party edition. We're coming to you from the 58th annual Wroe Avenue block party. It's already started, and the folks are shuffling in, and I've got the woman who came up with this idea to start off with, Nan Whaley.
The tandem. Someone's already asking about the tandem, Dan.
Yeah.
The tandem bike. Hold on. We're going to do it later.
Yeah, we're going to do it later.
And we hope you'll be there for it, right? Good to see you. Thanks for coming. Yes. Hi, Dan. It's busy out here today.
It's busy out here. The kids have had the parade. I saw 58 large beach balls go flying down the historic bricks of Wroe Avenue. And I've got with me Nan Whaley, who was the woman who came up with this idea of the podcast.
Exactly.
And
well, actually, it was Crystal. My best friend Crystal said we should start a podcast, and so here we sit.
Here we sit.
And this is the block party edition, right?
And this is the block party edition.
So you're going to be interviewing different people through the day.
I hope to interview different people during the day.
Good.
The music started off with O Canada and the Star Spangled Banner.
Right.
And the music's been playing since then. The Coronas and Red Stripes are flowing, and everybody's having a good time so far.
It is fun, and the weather's beautiful.
And the weather's beautiful. We've been blessed today with sunny skies and a high of 77.
So just walking through, Dan, this is my friend Beth and Brian, and they're from Cincinnati.
Come in, Beth and Brian.
So
we never interview many people from Cincinnati.
Yeah, you have to have a seat now. Okay. So Dan, this is my really good friend, Dan Garris, the former Dayton Municipal Court Judge of Dayton.
It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
When did you retire, Dan?
At the end of 2023.
Yes. So, and he's the one that's been responsible for basically the block party being as ridiculous as it is.
True. That's true. I have a way of ruining things.
That's a great legacy.
Yeah. So I got Beth and Brian some T-shirts. So tell me about the shirt today.
Okay, the shirt today is celebrating Virginia Maud Platt, who is my late wife who died this year. One of the not little known secrets is she hated the T-shirts.
She did. They got in a huge fight every year.
We got in a huge fight every year about the T-shirts, but I always prevailed, although one year I didn't.
It was a terrible year. It was in COVID, wasn't it?
No. It was before that.
Oh, before COVID.
I finally gave up, and then everybody came up saying, "Where's the new T-shirt?" I said, "Ask Virginia."
She got really mad about that.
And she got really mad about that. So after that, we've been doing T-shirts.
Nice.
So as you can see right up here, we've had them everywhere from Inventing Flight. One of the most popular one was a couple years ago when we did the 65th anniversary of Barbie.
Bright pink,
yeah. And Nan's been on several of them with me.
Up there, Dan and Nan. That's my first time I ran for office. And we were on the ballot together.
We were on the ballot together.
Yeah.
And then I had you on the 2022.
I know, it just says Nan.
Said Nan.
Nice.
Yeah.
And this is Dan and my friend Jeff Patzer, also a recovering attorney. Right?
We went to law school together.
They went to UD Law together decades ago.
Very long time. Well, what you don't know about Nan is we're some of the first people she called when she got off the bus from Oldenburg, Indiana, where she went to a Catholic all-girls school.
True.
That's a little-known secret of Nan Whaley's past. And she called us up because she had Virginia's oldest sister. And did Gary teach you as well? Yeah. Had both Gary and Monica Gain, who will be here today, as her teachers.
English and math.
And they said, when you get to Dayton, call Dan Garris and Virginia Platt, and she did. She came to see us. She had braces, and she's been in our life ever since then.
That's right, 30 years later.
The teeth worked out really nice.
I know, thank you. They look good.
Joe and Ann did good on the braces.
They did all right.
Yeah.
So Dan's been one of my best friends ever since, and Virginia was one of my best friends.
She babysit her kids quite often when we were out on recruiting trips.
Oh, we should tell the story about how Virginia would get so worked up about Sam's Mustang out front. Don't you think?
It's your story. You tell it.
So I lived across the street here, right? And so Sam and I started dating, and Sam would stay over, and Franklin, his second, would mess with Virginia and be like, he was like 16, 17, and he would be like, Sam's car's been out there all night. What do you make of that, Mom? What do you make of that? And she'd get so mad, and then she'd like call and yell at me. She blames me for all of her children living in sin, as she quoted it.
She was the morality police on Wroe Avenue. Yep. Yeah, so you pretty much...
ruined your whole life.
Yeah, well, my children's.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, I'm excited you're doing this. Is Duncan going to call in?
Duncan's going to call in. He's our friend that's walking the Appalachian Trail.
Oh, wow.
I am the only person who considers him a hero. Nan and Sam and Kate and Eddie think he's lost his mind, but he remains my hero. He quit his job.
He's 55. He worked at Care Source.
Okay.
55 years old, quit his job.
Has a child in college.
And a wife.
And a wife. And just quit.
And he just quit. And he got the name Duncan because he's wearing a hat with donuts on it. So he's got a trail name. And, nicknames, you got to earn them. You can't not give yourself a nickname. So everybody now knows him as Duncan. And we've got a binder of photos that he sent. He took his shirt with him. So we've got
up the Appalachian Trail.
A binder of it, yeah. And he should call in today.
What time? Do you know?
Whenever he can get cell phone. And another interesting thing about him, when he got to Vermont, he hiked part of the trail with one of the, not Bernie Sanders, but the other Vermont senator. And you would have thought he might have taken a picture of that. No, he took a picture of the porcupine that he saw on the trail. So that's our friend Duncan. But he's going to call in.
All right. Well, let's leave it there.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Now, which button do I push?
The one that's like a square. It says stop.
Okay.
Do you see it?
Okay, we're back with Dinner with Dan at the 58th Annual Wroe Avenue Block Party. And I'm happy to say that my Virginia's twin sister has just showed up. Her name is Marigrace Platt Ryan. She was actually the first twin born, so she was 3 or 4 minutes older than Virginia. Correct, Marigrace?
Correct.
Okay. And one of the features of the Wroe Avenue Block Party is a parade that starts at Homewood Avenue and it goes all the way to Five Oaks, and that's the official start of the block party. And for a couple years, Virginia and Marigrace rode a Schwinn twin. So you want to talk about that, Marigrace?
Yeah, sure, we can talk about the Schwinn twin. Virginia always wanted a Schwinn twin. When we were growing up, one of the popular commercials at the time was the Double Mint twins riding a Schwinn twin, getting off, and double mint, peppermint, spearmint, I don't know.
Yeah, and double mint gum. Yeah,
double mint gum.
Two mints in one.
2 mints in one. So she wanted it, and I think she got it about 12 years ago.
Yeah, Frank found it on the internet in Akron and drove all the way to Akron to get it.
Yeah.
And then I had a friend, FM, if you're listening to us, thank you for fixing it up.
Yeah. So we've ridden it a couple times. One time we rode it down to the market. Our mother was still alive. We were in the alley, and it was like she was sending us off to, the hinterlands on the Schwinn twin to go downtown. She was very worried. She was driving down to meet us. We got to the market. We had our little Saturday morning thing, breakfast, brunch, and then we got back on the Schwinn twin to come home. On the way down there, we realized that they were preparing downtown Dayton for a festival, a music festival, and there were a lot of fences up in the city, so you could not get from point A to point B easily. But we did manage to make it to the market. But on our way home, we were pedaling through downtown, and green light turned red, and Virginia said, "What should we do?" And I said, "Just go for it." So we ran the red light, got pulled over by a Dayton cop.
Oh, I didn't know this. Yeah. This is a secret.
I'm sure you heard this story.
No.
He,
that would have embarrassed me as a judge.
Yeah.
You kept that from me.
So we got pulled over by this Dayton cop, and he says, "Ma'am, you know the lights are for you too." And I said, yes, I know that, and usually I would stop, but there's a fence across the intersecting street, so that we knew there was no oncoming traffic. And the cop looked at us, looked back at the fence, he goes, "You're right." And he said, "But still, try to obey the laws when you're on a bike." But the Schwinn Twin is a heavy bike, and it is not easy to get going, and it's not easy to brake, so that's why I said go for it to Virginia. And we went for it, but we did not land up in the slammer. So, okay, somebody was waiting to talk to you, Dan. But.
Okay, well, thank you, Marigrace. You can go put your Block Party T-shirt on, which is bright yellow, which is the official colors of Club Garris, and it reads "Celebrating Virginia Mod Platt." The 2025 Wroe Avenue Block Party, and underneath the parrot, it has her nickname of Snapper.
Which I never called her Snapper. I was not fond of that name. So.
But she eventually came to love the nickname Snapper. Although, a little-known secret, they also wanted to call Marigrace Snipper, but Snipper would have nothing to do with it.
That didn't go well.
So it just stayed Snapper. Okay, Marigrace, go get your shirt on and have a good time at the Block Party.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're back at the 58th Annual Wroe Avenue Block Party, and we're going to interview a very, very dear friend of mine who I've known since she was a high school cheerleader at Colonel White?
Meadowdale.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Similar, not the same.
Yeah, I shouldn't have tagged you with Colonel White. Okay, Meadowdale. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I am Nikol Miller, and I consider myself to be a longtime family friend of the Platt Garrises. Actually,
Absolutely.
The Platts went to high school with the Robertses,
Yep.
and politics between the Roberts and the Garrises.
Yep.
And now I was Babysit Your Children.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, Marty's my favorite.
Back in 1982, your uncle Tom and I and several other people started a group called the Downtown Democratic Club.
Heard a lot of these stories.
Oh, yeah.
These war stories.
And that was because we were young Turks and
Yes.
trying to get in the system. And we built that up. And then in 1986, Tom was appointed state rep. And his campaign that year, Virginia, my wife, was his campaign treasurer.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
So if you look at the old posters to keep Tom Roberts state rep, they say Virginia Platt Treasurer, 1475 North Euclid Avenue, Dayton, Ohio.
Wow. I wonder if I can find some of those old memorabilia.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
have any?
Oh, heck yes, I got it.
I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah, I get it for you.
In the vault.
Then Tom and Regina's two kids, Ed and Arian, we had two kids at that time, Lily and Frank.
Yep.
And we started a group for them called the Diaper Dems.
Yes.
So we did a lot of things together.
Yes.
And to say that the Roberts family and the Garris Platt family are close would be a very, very understatement.
Understatement, yes.
Very, very understatement. Yeah. And there's a lot of Roberts in this world.
Yeah. Remember, I think Tom always talks about how you coined the phrase, the Roberts don't recruit volunteers; they breed them.
Then breed
or
them,
so-
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And another great fact is that your grandmother is still with us.
Yes.
Susie Roberts is still with us. She's 100 years old. 102.
Yes.
And she was one of the best school teachers
Yes.
Dayton, Ohio ever had.
Yeah.
And she's a wonderful lady.
Sweetheart. Yeah,
She
I went
is a
over there
sweetheart.
yesterday and I painted her fingernails. So,
okay.
yeah. It's the little things now that we
She's a
count as
sweetheart.
blessings. Yep.
Now, I'm going to tell you another little secret. Nikki had a childhood crush on my bailiff, who was my bailiff for 36 years that I was a
Yes.
judge, and he's now bailiff for my son who replaced me. Nikki had this crush on Chuck Taylor.
Yes.
Because he
he's
was
so
the high school
handsome.
football star
yes.
and basketball star, state champion Roth, the big Division
Yep.
3 basketball team, him and Keith Byers.
Yep.
And there you were.
Yes.
Yeah.
And unbeknownst to me, it wasn't, I don't think, until my Uncle Kevin passed away and he had his memorial service. I didn't realize they played first state and Little League baseball together.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So I probably should have been crushing on him a lot earlier in life.
Yeah, there you go. You know, when they were on first state in Little League, Keith Byers played with them, and they won the state championship. And the team they beat had Bernie Kosar on it,
Right.
Who went
Oh,
on
I
to
didn't
be
know that.
who went on to be the quarterback for the Browns.
Nice. You
Yeah.
got a lot of
Little
nuggets.
tidbits.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, what do you do now? You still with the RTA?
No. I'm actually the executive director for the Miami Valley Urban League. So I left
Okay.
RTA in 2021. Actually was poached, to be quite honest, to take on this role. And it's basically to revive the Urban League here in the Dayton market. So, initially, like the Dayton Urban League under Willie Walker, was just historical, and everybody refers back to that. But when it closed its doors, I think in like 2014, the Cincinnati market expanded its geography and it became a regional organization. So it sits as a division. It currently sits as a division of the Urban League of Greater Southwestern Ohio. But yeah, so I lead the efforts in all of the Dayton market. And when I started this journey in this role, things were a little bit different. It was right after the murder of George Floyd, and so there was a lot of emphasis about equity. And now, just since the top of this year, things have changed, and so we're just all trying to figure it out.
You got to keep the fight going, girl. You got to keep the fight going.
Yep. Yeah. So,
well, I know the good guys will win with people like you.
Absolutely. I have old heads to lean in on in their learnings and understandings and tales from yesteryear that can help inform what needs to take place moving forward. Yep.
Okay, well, I think we're done.
Good.
Unless you've got a shout out you want to give to somebody.
No, I don't want to have a shout out, but I did want to mention someone else on this podcast because yesterday I spent the day clearing out the storage facility for my Uncle Stephen. Yep.
Great guy.
And going through a lot of those files, came across a lot of, Ask Me memorabilia, things from presidential campaigns, local party politics, everything. So it was a walk. So I had a walk down memory lane yesterday. Yeah.
Stephen was a great guy. He walked so many precincts with me when I ran for judge in '87. Yeah.
You were his guy.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
No. Okay, now we've got a new person that's going to join with Nikki. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. This is Farra Smith.
And why, Nikki, you guys have been friends for?
Ever.
Since 1988.
Yeah, she was
89.
we were cheerleaders together.
Oh, you were cheerleaders together.
Yeah. So,
Did you have a crush on Chuck Taylor?
I did not. I did not.
She
Okay.
didn't know Chuck until she went to work for the court.
Maybe until like 2012.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody
Yeah.
has a Chuck.
He's what 60.
He's fine as wine. That's what
Yeah.
he is.
Yes, he is.
Keep talking. I got to.
Yeah. No. Oh my gosh, yeah. So fair.
Yeah, you guys.
Fair?
Yeah, you guys keep talking.
Yeah, no, Farra work. I know. What are we going to talk about? No, Farra worked for
You did
the
it last
courts,
year.
and then she
Yeah.
started to work for
Okay,
Nan.
I made 2 maps for you.
And
You
so
know, the,
became another
you don't need to
entanglement
go on
of
Richmond,
our, or
but, you know,
intertwining of
the
our lives.
Yes.
graph,
That was
because
probably
a
the
lot
most
of people
tense,
park on
right?
the
It
graph.
was the most
And then
tense.
the 2
Yeah.
hours.
It was a whole new world for
And
me,
it's
for sure.
like that.
Yeah.
But I've made the best of
If you
friends
need
with a lot
water,
of people since
pop,
I've been in that
or anything, or
space.
the bathroom, you
I'm
just
super
come in.
grateful for it. I
Yeah.
always will be.
And Nan and I
duper.
had been friends since like we were young college gems, so it was kind of
Okay, that's
an
fine.
intersection of both of my
That's
worlds.
no problem.
Yeah.
It really was, professional and
thanks a bunch.
personally.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was.
But we had great times.
We did. That was the best of times.
There you go.
It really was. It continues to be, though.
Yeah.
It really does. Anytime we get together, it's a
I was thinking about this earlier today. I remember like when we were in high school, like our little trek would be to catch number 8 down Salem Avenue, stop at Wendy's on Hillcrest, and then walk to my house on Alpena. And even though we're not like catching the RTA, like we still link up for food
At Wendy's?
often. No, not at Wendy's.
Oh, man.
Is there Wendy's not even there?
It's not there
It's not there anymore.
Oh, it may be. I'm not sure.
Now, somebody made reference to a Wendy's up the street the other day. I was at the Gym City Market, and I was like, where is Wendy's nearby? But is it
There
still
used to be one on Salem, but
on
I
Salem
thought,
and
yeah,
Hillcrest? That's the one we
Yeah.
used to go
I think
to.
that one closed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think so too. But I was like, I don't know where. Main Street is probably the closest Wendy's.
We did a lot of
Yeah.
exploring in those days, whether it was taking a connection downtown to go to a different part of the city. We got around.
Yeah.
I don't know where our parents thought we were.
Oh, they had no idea. That's
No
when
idea.
you could be gone, and
Yeah.
we were latchkey kids, so you know we were gone as long as we were home. By the time
Yeah.
we got home, it was fine. But I tell everybody, downtown was my playground. Like
Yeah.
we literally used to go down, catch the bus downtown. I could go to City Hall and see Regina. I could go to the courts and see
Yeah.
Susan. Oh, and Chuck. I really wasn't
Yeah.
going to see Susan. I was going to see Chuck.
You were always down there looking for Chuck. Yes, you were. Always.
Yeah, County
not
Building to see
retired yet?
Michelle.
Huh?
Is he still working?
No,
not
he's
retired yet?
he's my son Frank's bailiff
Oh,
now.
nice. Nice.
Yeah, Chuck was 10 years younger than me, so he said if Judge could make it to 70 years, he could make it to 70 years. So when I left, he was 60. So he's promised Frank he'll be with him for 10 years.
Yeah, you know, before
Yeah.
she was with Nan, she was working down at the courts.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
went
In
to-
March.
yeah.
Yeah.
And Russ was the clerk at the time. So that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I hear he went back.
Yeah.
I just found that out. I went to lunch with somebody who works in the courts today.
Okay.
Coming back from lunch with him. And she told me, she mentioned that Russ was coming back. That's a good fit for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Dan.
Okay. Well,
you.
thanks.
Of
Have a
course.
great block party.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we're back. We're back at the 58th annual Wroe Avenue Block Party, and a blast from the past has just shown up. He's the one and only Dennis Poelking, and I've known Dennis since he and Marty played Pee Wee football together. Dennis Poelking slept on every couch and in every chair and every floor in my house for block parties and everything else. So say hi, Dennis.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing good. How's everything been with you?
I don't know. It's good to be back in Dayton.
Now tell me some of your favorite memories as a block party with Marty when you guys did what, underage drinking and everything else?
Well, there was the one night where we, Frank got us, I think it was Miller High Lifes, and I think we drank like 3 cases of them between the 3 of us. And I think that we blamed all of it on him in the morning, and I ran out while you guys were yelling at me, got in my car, drove away. But then I just came back the next weekend. It was
Yes.
all good.
One of my favorite Dennis Poelking stories is one time, it was not at a block party, but Dennis had stayed overnight, And Frank got up early and found his keys, Dennis's keys, and drove his car down at the end of the block and came back and said, before Dennis calls the police, tell him I moved his car. So remember that? You got up and your car was gone, and you're like, they stole my car, they stole my car.
My car was gone, and I thought that, I don't know, my first instinction was to, when I found it down the street, was to look underneath it, make sure nobody put a bomb underneath it.
Yep. And why? Because the Poelkings have a bowling alley, and they sometimes feuded with the Zavakises, who had bowling alleys, and you were afraid maybe a Zavakis
the Zavakises planted a bomb underneath my car, yeah.
That was Dennis Poelking.
For some reason, that was the first thing that popped into my head when I saw it.
Yep. And Dennis and Marty were on the front line of CJ Eagles football for a long time.
Oh, yeah. Marty was the guard. I played center. Actually, I played tackle when Marty was the guard. That was senior year. Yeah. Played center junior year.
Yeah. Marty had quite a crowd. All the block parties, you guys were sleeping over here and having great times out in the middle of the street, going crazy all night long. Yeah.
And Marty just moved the party over to the end of the block. Bought his own house here.
Yep.
Kept it going.
Yep. Marty's down at the end of the street, keeping things going. Well, it's great to see you back as an alumni returning to Wroe Avenue for
Wouldn't
the
miss
block party. Okay. Good talking to you, Dennis.
Good talking to you.
Okay, we are back at the 58th Annual Wroe Avenue Block Party, and I am honored that I have with us now as a guest the Reverend Father James Schutte. He is the man who brought me into the Catholic faith, and I've been wanting to talk to you about that ever since then. It was a combination of your award-winning smile and coffee and donuts after Mass. So why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. This is Jim Schutte, and I was blessed to be pastor at Corpus Christi for 15 years, and that would have been 17 years ago that I left. But it was my first parish as a pastor, and so it has a very special place in my heart, mainly because of all the people, and you are all the ones that made me the pastor. That was there, Dan.
And let me share a story. Okay. Let me start off with when Schutte came up. The first thing was the agape dinner.
Oh,
and at Corpus Christi, the agape dinner on Holy Thursday had turned into a Roman food orgy. And you were shocked and appalled, coming from conservative Cincinnati, that the people in Podunk, Dayton, were having this gluttonous meal and then not coming to Mass after the dinner was over. So the following year, you decided it was going to be a simple spaghetti, salad, and bread dinner. And I thought to myself, who do I got to call in the Vatican to get rid of this guy? So it was a classic case of meeting in the middle.
Yeah, it sure was.
And that's what I've always found so endearing and charming about you as a man of the cloth. You weren't dogmatic. You weren't beating somebody over the head. You were willing to talk to everybody and work things out. And you did a good job at that.
Oh, thank you, Dan. I appreciate that very much. And as you know, I was a rookie.
You were. You were indeed a rookie.
And that's why I'm so indebted to all of you in Corpus Christi, because you guys, you took me in and you learned me.
Yes, we
and
did.
You learned me good, and I'm grateful.
And you learned us, too.
Oh, thank you.
You learned us.
And that's the working of the Lord, huh?
Yeah.
That's what God does. I think He brings us all together that way.
At Corpus Christi, there were three big Protestants. We were called the Big Three.
I remember.
It was me, Peter Nelson, who was a UD professor, and Brenda Donnelly, who is with us here today.
Yep.
And you got me first.
Yep.
And then on your very last day, on the Feast of Corpus Christi, you got Peter Nelson.
Yes.
And I kept telling Brenda Donnelly, do it before Schutte leaves. Do it before Schutte leaves. And, she stayed Church of England, so there you go. Now, the other thing I'd like to tell you to talk about is how the Archdiocese decided with the immigration of a lot of Hispanics coming in to send you to Mexico to learn Spanish. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, great, thanks. Yeah. So when I was at Corpus Christi, and I think there still is today, although I'm not sure, and I'm not sure what it is. But our archdiocese had a policy. So in my days, then it was, I believe it was like 5 years as an associate pastor in one place, and then you would move. And for a pastor, it was 6 years in one place as pastor, but then you had a 6-year renewable. And so when my 6 years came up, I asked for a second term. And so they said for sure. And so then when the second 6 was up, we were right in the middle of all the planning for the future. So I thought it wouldn't be too timely to leave at that time, and then to have somebody new come in and have to pick up something that they didn't start, huh? And so the diocese really understood that, so they granted me more time. So that's why I was there 15 instead of 12. So that was 3 more years. So, but there were no more extensions after the 15.
Yeah.
So that's why I knew I had to.
We tried to slip the Pope some money, and he wasn't buying.
Yeah, and I appreciate that
Yeah.
very much. But I think what happened was because of my wonderful experience at Corpus Christi, and I think, gosh, Dan, as you know, and still living in the neighborhood, in those days it was changing really quickly.
Yeah.
And I think, and I'm pretty sure my facts are right on this. In one summer, I think we went from 70% Catholic to 30% non-Catholic kids in our school to just the reverse in one summer, 70% non-Catholic to 30% Catholic. And so with that too, and look, with the school fostered, and we had kids coming to it, and it was a great way, like to live the faith and to teach the faith and to share it. And so I learned so much from being here and being in an urban neighborhood. And so when it came time, whenever we had to move, we were they would give us a list of places that were open listed, that we could choose. We could say we would be interested in that. And so I picked 3 and gave it to them in a particular order. And the one was Corpus Christi in Dayton, in Cincinnati, in Northside, or actually North Fairmount, which is next to Northside. And what it was is they had been, for years, they had been like urban, what I call inner city almost. If I-75 wasn't there, it would be downtown Cincinnati.
Okay.
So it's just west of downtown. And they had a flux of immigrants from Guatemala, mainly. And I had some experience at Corpus Christi before I was ordained. So when I was in the seminary, 2 summers I worked there and lived in the parish there and kind of got a feel for urban inner city life. And when I left Corpus, I wanted to continue that, basically because of really, and I mean it sincerely, all that you taught me and all that I learned from the ministry here.
Yeah.
The only place open at that time would have been St. Leo's, and for that experience. And so it was my request of the Archdiocese. I called him and I said I would be happy to go there, but could I start late and go down and learn Spanish first, or anywhere that you would want me to go? Because they were doing a Mass. They already had a Mass established in Spanish on Saturday for the Sunday obligation. And I thought, gosh, somebody's got to do that.
Yeah.
And so they were, when I made the request, they were like elated and very happy that I would want to do that, and very happy to send me then. And I get to pick the place. So I talked to one of the priests that's in charge of this, sending priests on sabbaticals and stuff, and he recommended this place. And so it was in Guadalajara, Mexico. And there was a school there, was run by a nun, and I forget, Sister Caridad is her name. And the order is in the United States. It's in Iowa. Its base is in Iowa. I can't think of what order of sisters she was. But she ran this, and she ran it for mainly Americans and those who wanted to learn Spanish because of the Spanish influence coming to America. And so it was really, next to being assigned to Corpus Christi here in Dayton and all that it taught me, then it was really the next best thing that I think the Lord wanted me to do, and grateful to do. And I always give Corpus Christi credit. I said, they gave me my start, and they gave me my confidence and the love that I needed in order to come down to do this.
Well, I'm happy to say that I did sit there for several of your services down in Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
And listen to you
Virginia,
preach the word in Spanish.
Yeah, thanks.
So you've done pretty good. Yeah, you've done pretty good.
I still make mistakes, and they laugh. But you know what it was, too? God had a hand in that, too, Dan. It was incredible. So, I was 55 when I went down to Guam. And so learning a language, right, at 55, so there's so many things against that. And I think I did pretty good, but, I can't speak it like if I learned it when I was growing up or something, or even in high school, huh? But what they did is, one of my first times after coming back and being at St. Leo's, so I asked them, it's como se dice, how do you say? And I asked them that in Spanish. I forget what word it was I was looking for. How do you say this in Spanish? And there were three of them, and they kind of huddled up, and they were sort of talking to one another. And finally, they looked at me and said, Padre, no sé, which means I don't know. And I said, you don't know? I said, you don't know how to say this in Spanish? And they all started laughing. They said, no, Spanish isn't our first language. And I said, why didn't you tell me that before I went down? But what was happening, it was beautiful, because what I would do, they have to learn English, right, in order to get jobs and get their kids in schools and everything. So they would try to speak English until they couldn't speak it anymore and go to Spanish. And I was always try to answer them in Spanish until I couldn't do it anymore and go in English. And 17 years now later, here we are. And now I guess the majority, and we do, they're allowed to answer at Mass in any language they want to.
Yeah.
And so at the same time, we got different languages going. And it's really beautiful. But now you can hear, the kids are all older now. They've been in school and going through school. So English is pretty fluent, now. But it's been a wonderful way to learn.
Oh, yeah.
To grow together. Yeah.
And you're now senior status.
I am, yes.
Okay.
Retired.
And you're still helping the Lord.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Do appreciate that you did the funeral mass for Virginia.
Oh, gosh.
You did a wonderful job.
Thank you, Dan.
And
Thanks for inviting me
the other
to do
thing
it.
that I want to bring up is that you walked the way.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the El Camino.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
de
El
Santiago. Sí, yes, I did.
And for those of you who don't know what that is, I very strongly encourage you to rent the movie called The Way.
Yes.
It's Martin Sheen.
Yep.
Is the star of it. His son, Emilio Estevez, was the director and producer of it. And if you want to see a great faith-based pilgrimage, rent the Way, and then you'll see the course that Father Jim took. And that was one of the things that Virginia and I really enjoyed, was when you put your slide presentation together. And we got a chuckle out that the fellow priest that you went with twisted his ankle the first or second day. And
he did.
He rode the bus the rest of the way, and you walked the rest of the way.
He did, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
For 2 weeks, yeah.
For 2 weeks. So I'm going to conclude this by saying thank you for bringing me into the group.
You're welcome.
And you're a good man of the cloth, Father Jim.
Thanks, Dan.
And the world could use a lot more Father Jims.
Well,
And what's the name of the new Pope? Leo the what?
Leo the 14th.
Leo the 14th. There's this guy in Cincinnati named Father Schutte. You need to think about upping his pension. The guy is definitely worth it. So with that, Father Jim, thank you very much.
Dan, thank you. It's an honor always to be
I
with
see
you.
that food is being served.
Yeah,
so
it's time
I
to
will
eat.
let you go eat.
Thanks, Dan. God bless.
I know. This is like being in a professional
Okay,
studio.
dinner's pretty much over at the 58th annual Wroe Avenue block party. So we're going to be back talking to people. And for our loyal listeners, you will remember a podcast or two ago, I gave a shout out to one of our very first listeners, who's always been one of my favorite ladies ever since I've met her, Kate Archdeacon. So Kate Archdeacon is also a Club Garris regular at the block parties. This is probably your 8th or 9th or 10th block party.
Sure.
So Kate, welcome. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
you're here.
I'm glad I'm here too.
Now, Kate, I wish you would just say a little bit about where you come from. You're Dayton through and through. So,
Absolutely, born and bred.
and where did we go to school?
East Dayton when I was a child. Went to Franklin grade school, and then we moved to Kettering, and I switched to Ascension, and then went on to Fairmont East.
Okay, and you graduated from Fairmont East.
68.
So does that make you a Firebird or a?
Yes. No. Wait. Oh my gosh. One was Firebird. We were the Falcons.
You were the Falcons. Okay.
Yes.
So, what did you do after graduating high school?
A lot of things, and of course it was the late 60s, early 70s, so good many drugs.
Yeah, well, we'll say you did that.
Yeah, and don't ask me too much because I don't remember.
I understand. So we'll fast forward to you eventually got employment at the Journal Herald or the Dayton Daily.
Well, at the time it was both because I was
Yeah.
advertising classified, and so we fed both papers.
Okay.
Then shortly, I don't know, 4 or 5 years after that, they closed the Journal Herald
Yeah.
part and made it just the Dayton Daily News.
Now, is this where you met your current husband, Tom
Actually,
Archdeacon?
the Embassy next door, which was the newspaper bar. It was also a cop bar.
Lawyer Bar.
Yeah.
Great
all-
place to eat.
It's just a great place.
They had the
period.
best hoagie sandwiches around.
Besides, when you left there, you smelled like grease and cigarettes.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
You know, you would walk in there, and there would be two writers who eventually got into the Baseball Hall of Fame, Ritter Collette and Cy Burek,
Sure.
would eat in there almost every day when they were out on the road with the Reds. Yeah.
Everybody ate there.
Yeah,
It
all
was
the
packed.
upper echelon of the police and a lot of the judges ate there. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's where you met Tom.
Yep.
Okay. And for those of you who don't know, Tom Archdeacon is a pretty well-renowned sports writer. He's won many awards. Kate and I conspired behind his back many years ago without him knowing anything about it. We met at Flanagan's Pub on Stewart Street. Check it out. It's a great place. Where we filled in the paperwork and submitted it for Tom to be on Dayton's Walk of Fame. And we worked long and hard on it. And eventually we got Tom into the Dayton Walk of Fame.
That was
which
last year.
Yeah, which was very well deserved.
Yes.
So that was something that that Kate and I did behind Tom's back.
Exactly.
Yep. And so that was one of our great accomplishments.
It wasn't easy.
Yeah. Now, what are you doing now since you've retired?
2 days a week, I volunteer at the Democratic headquarters, and 1 day a week, I'm a docent at the Frank Lloyd Wright House in Springfield, Ohio.
Oh, I did not know you were doing that.
Yes. Check it out. It's a great home.
The Docet at the Frank Lloyd Wright House in Springfield.
Correct.
And what's the hours of that?
I do it once a week.
Once a week?
I do a 1 o'clock tour on Thursdays.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a great tour, by the way. You should.
How long
check
does
it.
this tour take?
Well, it's supposed to be an hour, but I do closer to 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I
And
really love it.
You take them through all the rooms and...
And a lot of history. Frank was a character.
He sure was.
He was a genius, he was a narcissist, and he was a charming, charming man.
Yeah. And what, his kids hated him too, right?
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but he had 6 children. And his first wife, Catherine, he started having an affair with a lady named Mamaw Borthwick. And he didn't care who knew it. And back in those days, the turn of the century, if you were going to have an affair, you were very discreet. Frank wasn't.
Yeah.
And his wife wouldn't divorce him because she had no way to pay for 6 children.
Yeah.
But eventually she acquiesced and they ended up divorcing. Mamaw died in a fire, terrible situation.
Yeah.
But he's got quite a history.
So it sounds like you've done a lot of research on him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've seen probably 40 of his houses. And
Have you
probably-
been over to Falling Waters?
Oh, my goodness, yes. That's the cat pack.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what really brought back his career.
Yeah.
After he had this affair, he couldn't get work in Oak Park, Illinois anymore.
Yeah.
Once he did Falling Water, that really saved his career.
And he had a big place out in New Mexico too, right?
Arizona.
Arizona. Okay.
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
He had started in Wisconsin his architectural school in Spring Greens, Wisconsin, and then at some point he opened a second one in Phoenix, and that was their winter home.
Oh, okay.
But the guy had quite a scam.
Yeah.
So I sign up, I pay you my tuition to go to learn from the great Frank Lloyd Wright, and I'm immediately assigned duties. So on the farm up in Wisconsin, I might be assigned to taking care of the cattle.
Oh.
I might have to cook. I might have to do the laundry. So it's kind of like indentured servitude.
Yeah. No kidding.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was something.
Yeah.
Do a little research.
Yeah. Sounds like it was an interesting life, though, and he certainly he survived. I mean,
my
everybody
God.
knows who he is to this day.
Yes, he was born in I think 1867 and died
Yeah.
in 1959. So
Yeah.
another interesting thing about him is that he had over 80 cars.
80 cars.
And if you think about his lifetime, the first half there were no cars. So the second half of his life he spent building homes or in a car dealership.
Yeah. That's interesting. And speaking of car dealerships, you used to work in a car dealership.
I did. When I retired from the paper in 2005, and I did that because I saw what the internet was doing to my revenue. I dealt with car dealerships only.
Yeah.
And I saw what was happening, and Lexus of Dayton, which at the time was owned by John Higgins, who was just the most wonderful car dealer in the world. I went to work for him after I retired from the newspaper I was his F&I person, which is finance and insurance.
Yeah.
Which is the office where you go at the end of the deal.
Yeah.
And they consider that a revenue source, big time.
Yeah. Now, I think you told me you used to be the person that would go out to a house and put the big red bow on top of the Lexus.
We all did it.
Okay.
Whoever wanted it and whoever was available.
Well,
Yes.
now, was that just at Christmas or was that whenever?
Oh no, mostly Christmas.
Mostly
but
Christmas.
Sometimes people would ask for it at odd times, a birthday or whatever.
Yeah.
Those bows, by the way, were very expensive.
Oh, yeah.
About $200 a pop.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
Now, was that just a lost leader you guys ate or was that figured into it?
I'm sure. Listen, we're talking car dealers, so I'm sure they had it covered somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I just finally got forced into buying a new vehicle. My 20-year-old Town and Country, which I called my trusty steed. It kept me running. I loved it. But my kids forced me into getting a new used car. So, you know, I'm an old union guy. My dad was a union president. I was always elected as a Democrat, always supported by the unions. So I can't buy a foreign car. And I had to have a minivan. And the only company that's still in America that makes minivans, Chrysler.
Yep.
So I got a Chrysler Pacifica. My oldest son went on the internet and found that Jeff Schmidt had bought 20, I think they had been rental,
Yes,
rental,
probably.
yeah, 20 rental Pacificas. And Frank came over one day, made me get in the car, drive out to Miamisburg, and we test drove a Pacifica. And the next thing you know, I bought a Pacifica, which is a great car.
It is.
It's a minivan. I can get in and out of it, and it's beautiful on the inside. We did the Carfax on it. No this, no that. But you know, it doesn't have a key. It's got this push button stuff.
I know.
And I'm old school. And you know what else it doesn't have? A CD player.
No.
And my kids said to me, Dad, they haven't put CD players in cars forever. And I'm like, this is crazy. What do you mean there's no I got all these CDs I listen to in my Town and Country. Now, I'm keeping the Town and Country as a backup car. And my kids are very upset with me. As
I'm
are
sure.
a number of my friends are also upset with me. Because why do you need a backup car? And I'm like, you need a backup car when your other car isn't working. And I'm just going to say this. Nan and Sam, who are part of the podcast, they needed a backup car. And they used Virginia's Buick as a backup car for 2 weeks. When one of their cars, and they both, you know, Nan goes to Cincinnati, Sam runs all over Montgomery County. They needed a backup car. That's why Danny Boy needs a backup car. So just like my flip phone,
Right.
just like Charlton
And he
Heston
does,
said,
I can testify, it is a flip phone.
just like Charlton Heston said at the NRA convention when he had that muzzle loading rifle, from my cold dead hands will leave my flip phone, and from my cold dead hands, the steering wheel of my Town and Country will leave. Even though it's 20 years old, I'm keeping that trusty steed. And I have named my new car the Silver White Buffalo.
Oh,
And the reason why I've named my new car the Silver White Buffalo is I'm a lifelong fan of Richard Harris, the actor and the singer.
sure.
I love his songs. MacArthur Park is my favorite. I want it to be the theme song of Dinner with Dan, but Nan assures me that if we do it more than 30 seconds, we got to pay for it. So I'm said, okay, well, I don't love it that much. But in all my Richard Harris albums, he sang one song called Silver White Buffalo.
I don't remember it.
It's horrible. And for me to say something Richard Harris sung was horrible, that's saying a lot. But that's my car now. It's the Silver White Buffalo. So I'm keeping the trusty steed, which is red, and my main squeeze is going to be the Silver White Buffalo now.
But your trusty steed is kind of red.
No, it's red.
All red paint
Oh, yeah.
oxidizes like man, or it used to. It doesn't now.
Well, it's red with a little bit of white from when somebody might have hit the garage with it. And I don't know who was driving that when that happened. But anyhow, so I love your dogs.
Oh, I do too.
You had when I first met you, you had Leo, and Leo's claim to fame was after a Friday night or a Saturday night when he would be out walking through the neighborhood, he would dine on fine barf, correct?
He would.
Yes, he would.
Oh.
Yes,
And he had
would.
barf breath.
Yeah, well, it's okay. You love your
Yeah,
dog.
you love your dog, you love a
Patrick's
dog.
favorite day.
Yep. And then Leo had to leave us, just like Rio had to leave me. But you got a new pup to take place. Tell me about your new pup.
Louis is from the Humane Society in Delaware, and he had we were his fourth home in his first year of life.
You're the fourth home?
Yes. His names have been Sparky, Chewy, Prescott, Louie.
Prescott.
He was born in
Houston, Texas.
He's born in Houston, Texas.
And somebody in the Columbus area, saw him online and wanted him. And there's a group that shuttles dogs to wherever people want them. And they brought him to Columbus, and it must have not worked out. And I can see why he was a handful. We had to do a lot of training. But he is the most lovely dog. He loves everybody. He's frightened of other dogs because yeah, he does. He does
Spanish.
respond because his first rescue home was a Spanish couple.
Okay.
So he does respond to
Spanish curse words.
Yeah, well,
One of my favorite pictures that I've kept on my flip phone, which I do get pictures on my flip phone. They're very small, but I get them. Was when you and Tom were going to vacation in Key West, and I texted Tom something, and he sent me back a picture of Louis laying on the hotel bed
oh yeah,
with the statement, living his best life.
yep.
Living
Yep.
his best life. I have kept that picture on my phone.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's just precious.
Now, does he also share his predecessor's love of Oregon District Barf?
Oh, he sure does.
He does? Okay.
Tom could answer that better. He's the one that gets the big walking duties. Yes, he does. I mean, there's always something.
That's
Well, as a
living
matter
in the
of
Oregon
fact-
District.
As a matter of fact, Tom was walking Louie down 5th Street, and there was a street guy sitting on one of the curbs. He had his shoes and socks off, and he was trimming his toenails, and his old nasty socks were right beside him. Louie runs up and grabs one of the socks and runs off with it. I immediately
Runs
gave
down
him,
the sidewalk.
yeah, I gave him a big smooch. I didn't care. Oregon District, you can't beat it.
You can't beat it,
It's
man.
not Springboro.
That's, there used to be a motto in Dayton that they had on bumper stickers. They could never stick with the Wright brothers. It was always City of Neighbors. Oh, really? It was this, it was that, and all these other things. But they had a bumper sticker. I still have one in my collection.
Oh,
City living is living in Dayton.
yeah.
There you
Well, maybe.
Whatever that
Okay.
means, city living is living in Dayton. So, Kate, I think we've got through this.
We did.
I want to say something. This is the longest I've ever talked to you without you dropping the F-bomb. So, girl, I think that this has been a wonderful interview, so don't say it. Don't, no.
Judge asked me to behave myself, and I have quite nicely. Don't you agree?
Absolutely, I agree. And since the first podcast, I've been wanting to get you on because you're one of my all-time favorite OGs of Dayton.
Oh, love
You are Dayton through and through.
The judge is the most incredible person I've ever met in my life. He can tell stories like nobody's business. I am telling you.
I appreciate that.
It's the truth.
Okay, with that, we're going to get off because I know you're just eager to drop an F-bomb. So let me turn this off. Don't say anything. Got to get the red light off. Okay, we are back at the 58th annual Wroe Avenue block party. The sun has not yet gone down, but dinner's over. There's still a lot of people milling around out there. Marigrace and Lily have done the commemorative ride on the Schwinn Twin down from one end of Wroe to the other. So we've got picture proof of that. We're happy about that. Last time that was ridden was by Virginia and Marigrace probably 5 or 6 years ago. So that was a nice commemorative run. Now, I have with me a longtime friend of mine who was very instrumental in me getting elected judge. He was my campaign chairman, and then and campaign chairman, advisor, manager. But then I returned the favor by getting him appointed to be clerk of the Dayton Municipal Court. Well, I hired as magistrate first, and then got him to be clerk of the Dayton Municipal Court. It's my good lifelong, or almost lifelong friend, Mark Owens. Introduce yourself, Mark.
Thank you, Dan. It's Mark Owens, and a longtime friend of Dan Garrett's. Of course, we disagree on how we met, but
That's true.
That's true. But we did meet probably 44 years ago.
Been a while.
Years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep. And we served on the same court from 1990. Well, you
From
got
1989.
89 when you became a magistrate.
And then I retired in 2002.
2002.
Well, 2001, the end of 2001.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm no, 2021.
2021. Yeah. And for those of you who are keeping track, he was replaced in the clerk of court's office by my son, Marigrace, who is hosting the other end of the Wroe Avenue block party at his house. So the young people are down at Marty's house. The MCL cafeteria age people are here at my house. So Mark, you're retired. What are you spending your time doing?
Well, just taking care of parents. Her dad is still with us, and we take care of him. We take care of grandkids, and just plain old enjoy life.
Well, and you watch dogs.
Watch dogs.
And
grandkids.
You're being too modest. I think you had a tremendous golf championship this year, or this week. So let's talk about that.
We won the 2025 Doc Wright Golf League Championship, myself and Mark Haggard, and that league has been going on for almost 50 years.
Now, this is a league that people actually report their true scores. This isn't something that Donald Trump could win.
Right. He would lose, right?
He would lose. Well, congratulations. You've played in the league for a long time, and it's your first championship.
First championship.
There you go.
So what do they say? Every score can find a nut once in a while.
There you go. Or pig finding a truffle.
Yep.
Now, the other thing that Mark did for quite a while was he was the local Montgomery County Party Democratic Party chairman. So let's talk about all your wonderful, easy years as Democratic Party chairman.
All right. Where do you want to start? Well, I was, been active in the party, obviously, since, the early 80s. And one of my big victories was in 1987 with Dan Garrett here.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And I think
that was an upset win, by the way.
Upset win. I think maybe myself and Dan and maybe Virginia thought he could win.
Yeah, I think Virginia was hoping I could win.
Yeah, but that's the only people that I thought we had any chance. We was running against a 10-year incumbent, and he won, and he stayed there for 36 years. 36 years.
And, after Mark became magistrate, then he became clerk, we were seeing each other almost every day. We went to lunch probably 4 days a week. Went to a place called Limbo's forever until it closed, and then we started moving around to different places, Legacy and Flanagan's and Skyline Chili on Brown Street, just about everywhere in between. And then Legacy burned down, and but before Legacy burned down, COVID hit.
Right.
So once COVID hit, everything changed, and then what we started doing was having food brought in. And once food was brought in, you can sit there and talk to each other as you eat a Jimmy John sub or Chinese carry-in or carry-out. But then we started watching Gunsmoke.
Yep.
So why don't you talk about our Gunsmoke years?
Oh, that we started watching every episode of Gunsmoke. I think we for what, a year and a half, they had on at Me TV.
Me TV.
They have Monday through Friday. They had Gunsmoke on, and we ended up watching every single episode.
Every single episode.
And we had to, one time, what I did, I don't know if he's watched them yet, there was a period of about 10 episodes at the end of one of the years that they didn't show on TV.
Right. Yeah, they didn't show.
So I ended up buying Dan here for his retirement, every episode on DVD, so that he could catch up for the 10 we missed.
And it was the best retirement present I got. Every episode, full length, nothing cut out for commercials like they do when they have to syndicate a show.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Matt and Chester and Festus and Kitty and Doc, we all appreciate that.
But going back to my years, I mean, I helped our previous chair, Dennis Lieberman. I was his vice chair, so we helped him a lot. I became chair in 2007 and left in 2022. But we had some good years and some bad years.
Yeah.
That's the way politics is. But I was there for both of Barack Obama's big wins, and it was back then Ohio was a center of presidential politics, and we had I think one year I think Obama came in 3 times to campaign in Dayton.
Yeah.
And one of his biggest rallies that he had in his re-election in 2012, Dayton was the only place where both he and Joe Biden campaigned together, other than the convention. So
that's right.
There was a lot of good memories. As being, it can be tough sometimes being chair. I got to visit the White House when I was chair. Got to meet 2 presidents.
Yeah.
And prior to that, we actually met President Clinton at the airport one time.
Right.
So,
Yep. You and I did that
right.
together. We got to meet
Right.
Clinton out at the airport.
But so there was good times, and of course there were some frustrating times as well.
Very frustrating times, which we're not going to talk about.
Right.
We're only going to talk about the victories.
Right.
And one of the most interesting things I have ever done in my life is I've gone to 3 electoral colleges to watch the vote get counted. The first time I went with Dennis Lieberman when he was county chairman to watch him vote for Bill Clinton and Al Gore. And he could only vote for Bill Clinton and Al Gore. And it took him about 15 minutes to fill the form in. Everybody was waiting for him to do it. It was fascinating. Thinking, I've got strong opinions about the Electoral College, but just thinking that has been done in the state of Ohio since 1804, that they've got together every 4 years since 1804. Then the second time I got to see, was it you or Nan? The second time I got to see Nan Whaley cast her vote as an Electoral College member for Barack Obama. And then the third time I went up with Mark Owens and he cast his electoral vote for Barack Obama. So that was something that, I'm really going to hold that special, that I was able to see 3 good friends, and in particular my campaign chairman be one of the 535 electors. So on behalf of a sane country, we do thank you for that. We're not going to talk about how it is now. Take care. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Have a safe trip back to Cincinnati. The sun is starting to go down here, so some people from far away are starting to leave. But I do want to mention that Mark's better half is here. She's too shy to be interviewed, at least at this time. But I want to personally thank Debbie. I want to start crying. Start talking, Mark, so I can get through this.
Have you told them about, go back to the story, you told them about the T-shirts and taking pictures of them, right? With the shirts?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So one of the things that Dan has asked us all when he gets his Wroe Avenue shirts is if we go travel, we're supposed to take pictures.
Yep.
So at one time I had the most pictures taken with a shirt. Now I've been passed, certainly by Paul Robinson, and I think probably by Sam Braun by now.
Yeah.
But I still have a lot of pictures.
You've got
around
the most baseball stadiums
I got all the baseball stadiums
and most national parks.
national parks with his picture, with his T-shirts. So
Yeah.
I thought somewhat proud of that. I'm going to have to work on it, though, to catch up to Paul.
Oh, yeah. Our friend Paul, who I've been hoping could call in today, is currently walking the entire Appalachian Trail. He started April 14th, and you on the people who've been following the podcast know that we've had many spirited conversations about Paul. He's my hero, not so much for Dan, Sam, Kate, and Eddie, but I don't care what they say. I admire what he did. I don't think he deserted his wife. I don't think he was a fool for quitting his job. I think he was smart for doing what he did. The update is he's in New Hampshire, and he's going to make the end before September 30th. So he's already gone over 1,800 miles. But anyhow, Debbie now has been doing something wonderful for me and my family. T-shirts that Virginia wore, she's turning into quilts. And they've been magnificent and beautiful.
And
What did Michael Myers say on geflumped? I'm geflumped. I'm geflumped. I can't ever thank Debbie enough for doing that for me and my family.
All right. Well, we.
I knew I was going to start crying before I just got up.
Right. Well, we all miss her too, and this block party is kind of in honor of Virginia.
Yes,
so.
it is. The T-shirts say celebrating Virginia Maud Platt, the 2025 Wroe Avenue block party, and it's got her nickname under the parrot of Snapper.
So
it was a nickname that she did not like to start off with, but she grew into it. So everybody knew her as Grandma Snapper.
Snapper or VA.
Yeah, or VA. VA, yep. Snapper or VA.
All right.
Okay, well, Mark and Debbie, thanks for coming you're pretty much regulars at the block party. I appreciate you guys being here, and I appreciate you being on Dinner with Dan.
All right.
Okay. Well, this is going to be the last entry on episode 3. Which is also known as the 58th Annual Wroe Avenue Block Party. This is episode 3 of Dinner with Dan. Night has indeed fallen on the historic bricks of Wroe Avenue. People who are visiting have started to head home, and others are hunkered down on their porches. It occurred to me during the broadcast that with it being Dinner for Dan, we never really told you what we were eating tonight. So let me give you a brief rundown of that. We, of course, at Club Garris always serve Paradise cheeseburgers. Thank you, Jimmy Buffett. We had Paradise cheeseburgers with all the fixings. We had hot dogs down at the end of the street at Marty's house, which we call Little Club Garris. He had pulled pork and pulled chicken. We had fried chicken, we had potato salad, we had every kind of salad known to mankind, and just loads and loads and loads of dessert. Of course, we had libations. At Club Garris, we served Coronas, Red Stripes, margaritas, and water and pop. So it was indeed a great dinner that we had here. There was a candy toss for the kids. So the kids all left with big bags of candy. And also I forgot to mention that the Dayton fire truck came. Everybody had a good time. The kids loved the fire truck. And also one of our neighbors across the street, Tad, he had blown up 58 beach balls in varying sizes. So the kids were running up and down the better part of the block party, kicking these beach balls, some of which were bigger than the kids, up and down the street. I think I did mention that Virginia's twin, which hadn't been ridden since Block Party of 2019, was taken out of the garage, cleaned up, tires pumped up, and Virginia's twin sister, Marigrace, and Virginia's daughter, Virginia, made the ride from one end of Wroe to the other end of Wroe. And that was a very sentimental ride to watch them go up and down the street. We interviewed a lot of people today. I hope you found the conversation broad-ranging and interesting. We had all kind of people, many of whom, well, I guess all of whom had been to the block party before. So that's going to pretty much call. Oh, I do want to say we were hoping that Duncan, a.k.a. Paul Robinson, was going to be able to find cell service somewhere in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. Those of you who have listened to the first two podcasts know that I have Paul as my hero for doing the Appalachian Trail from beginning to end. He's 55 years old. Decided to leave his job. It was something he always wanted to do. And he has made it all the way into the state of New Hampshire. He only has to conquer New Hampshire, and then he'll be in Maine. He's got to be there before September 30th, and I think he's got less than 300 miles to go. But I know his 300 miles are tough by being in the White Mountains. But Paul, wherever you are tonight on the Appalachian Trail, you're my hero, Duncan. You bring it home. You're walking for everybody that wanted to do something that didn't do it. So with that, I'm going to bid everybody adieu from this, the third edition of Dinner with Dan. We'll be back next week for our fourth edition, and that will be just your typical Dinner with Dan edition. So until then, fair winds, Godspeed and fair winds until we meet again. Good night.